Hello, dear friends. Good day. How are you doing? I trust you are doing well. I trust you're not looking for anybody's trouble, and I trust no one is looking for your trouble as well. You're welcome to my channel if you are new, and if you are an old member, thank you for being there. I appreciate your presence on the space. Thank you for the likes you give to my videos, the comments you drop, and the share you make to encourage me. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Thank you. God bless you. And I want to tell you again, as I always tell you, I love you. Yes. Yeah, so on today's topic, I'll be treating on infertility. But before that, I want to showcase this outfit I made for myself. I told you I'm a fashionista. I design, I cut, and I sew. So on this space, so I'll be teaching you all that. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Always watch any video you see me upload, and I'll also be making jokes for you to ease off your stress for the day. So let's go to the today's topic. Infertility. Yes. What is infertility? Infertility is the inability to get pregnant after several trials for a woman. And for a man, inability to get a woman pregnant after several tries to get a woman pregnant. This infertility is from two angles. It could come from a man, it could come from a woman. And there are two types of infertility. The first is primary infertility, and the second is secondary infertility. Primary infertility is simply when a woman has never gotten pregnant in her lifetime. And for a man, it is when a man has never gotten a woman pregnant before. And secondary infertility is when a woman have gotten a successful pregnancy in the past, but is not able to get pregnant again. The same thing applies to a man when a man has gotten a woman pregnant in the past, and after that, future attempt to get a woman pregnant fails. So that's secondary infertility. So you can some people, sorry to say, there are some people that are born with primary infertility. It's just nature, or should I say genetic. They can't get pregnant even though they are okay. Why there are people too, because of different factors, they have gotten pregnant in the past, and subsequent trials failed because of different factors. So I'll be exposing us on that. But before I go on, please, if you have not liked my past videos, do well to do so. If you have not invited your friend to follow me on this space, please, I'm begging you, invite your friends to follow me on this channel, and I will always appreciate any effort to any effort you make to encourage me. Yes. So let's go back to what we are discussing. So how do we diagnose infertility for a woman? The first way to diagnose infertility is to check for your ovulation. Do you actually ovulate? You're a woman. Some people don't ovulate. You can see your menstruation and yet you don't ovulate. So if you don't ovulate, even though you are menstruating, you might not be able to get pregnant. Yes. And then the second diagnostics form for infertility check for a woman is a pelvic scan. Pelvic scan checks for fibroids, checks for position of your womb, checks for ovaries, and the pap smear. Then the third is blood test. Blood test is used to check your hormone. There are women that have a hormonal imbalance, and that can contribute to their inability to get pregnant. And another one is transvaginal levels. You know, like transvaginal ultrascan, like okay, because of time, I won't be explaining all that, but I'm just telling you how to diagnose infertility for a woman. I said the first is ovulation record, pelvic scan, blood test checks for hormonal imbalance, pelvic scan check for fibroid, position of your womb, position of your fallopian tube and ovaries, and then transvaginal ultrasound. This is the insertion of ultrasound word into the vagina to look for problem with the reproductive system. And we also have a heteroscopy. It's different from a heterosapigram. Heterosapigogram. Yes, that's HSG. That's the popular for most people that are trying to conceive, and doctor recommend such tests. But there is also one called histoscro head. Let me not bite my tongue. Okay, let me get it right. Hysteroscopy. Yes, this is insertion of uh, a tiny lighted tube into vagina to examine the uterus. Yes, and they also have there are a lot of them, but that's let's not take our time. Then the last, not the least, though not the last anyway, not the there are other ways to check infertility is the laparoscopy. This laparoscopy is a time it is the process happens this way: a tiny tube with a camera. That's the camera is near is laparoscopy is inserted into the small abdomen of your lower part, and it checks for fibro, it checks for scar tissue, and endometriosis. That's the scare of maybe your fallopian tube and all that. No, that's all for how to diagnose the infertility in women. And then how do we diagnose infertility in men? Number one is sperm analysis. Sperm analysis checks for sperm count of the man, checks for morphology of the sperm of the man, checks for motility of the sperm. Yes, I remember I told you earlier that it's possible you have gotten a woman pregnant before, and you are not able to impregnate a woman again. There are factors that can cause that. If okay, before I'll talk on that, causes of infertility. So I'm still talking on the diagnostic tools, how to diagnose if a man is infertile. So number one is just the sperm analysis, and the sperm analysis checks for the three things I mentioned. The morphology is to check the shape of the sperm. There are sperm that maybe their head is big, they cannot pass through the cervix to the woman's reproductive organ. There are sperm that they are slow, that's the motility, they cannot swim. Even if a man releases inside the woman, because the sperm is weak, it cannot swim to climb to the fallopian tube, then to the uterus. And then there are sperm that the sperm counts are low. There are men that have low sperm count. It's possible you've impregnated a woman before. Yes, it happens. And in the future, you're not able to impregnate a woman. There are a lot of factors that can cause that. So that brings me to causes of infertility. For a woman, there are many causes of infertility. Number one is damaged womb. If maybe you've had abortion in the past, and the process was not really managed, it can damage your womb, can give your womb scare, and you might not be able to conceive. Number two is not being able to ovulate. If you're a woman, you don't ovulate, you have to go for check and know the cause. Number three is the untreated infection. Yes, sexually transmitted infection. If you have contacted infection in the past and you're not able to treat it, it can cause infertility. Yes. What number am I? Then another point is implantation problem. You can actually um, a sperm can actually enter into your reproductive um, system, but is not able to implant. That's you can actually conceive. You can, when you meet a man in your safe period for conception, the sperm, it has been deposited for you to now, after some time, to implant it to the uterus. If your uterus is not strong enough to allow for implantation for any reason, it can cause infertility. Yes, it can cause infertility. Then age is also another factor of infertility. There are people that have outgrown the stage of giving birth. People that have entered menopause, it's another cause of infertility. Then fibroid in the wrong place. There are fibroid that might be at the wrong part of a woman's internal organ. It can block the process of your conception. It causes infertility too. And there are a lot of factors. Then for men, there are a lot of factors too. Untreated sexually transmitted disease can cause infertility. Is one of the major cause of infertility in man, because it will automatically bring down the sperm count of a man. Yes, and it also weaken the motility of the sperm count. So if you're a man, please be faithful to yourself. If you must have indulged any um I'm not encouraging if you're not married, but if you must have sex, please protect yourself. But that's why it's always advised to stick to abstinence until you get married, because protection is also 100% granted. Condoms can break, and then what happens when it breaks? But whatever had that happen, if you must have sex, you have to use protection to protect yourself from any infection, because infection is the major cause of infertility in men. Um, um, this video is long. I'll pause it here and continue in the other one. Okay, let me just finish for that of causes of infertility in men. And number two is hormonal imbalance. A man can have a hormonal imbalance. Maybe if the man's hormone produces more of female's hormones instead of the male's hormone, it can affect the man's fertility. And another point is lifestyle and uh, environmental conditions. If you expose your body to radiations, to chemicals, it can have a negative impact on your sperm. If you also drink too much, you smoke too much, it can also have a negative impact on your sperm. Yes, too much of alcohol affects the sperm count. Yes, and then another point is kidney and liver problem also affect the sperm of a man. So all these things are factors that affect the fertility of a man. We are still talking on causes. So let me pause here and I will continue with other subtopic on this topics on this infertility. Bye for now.